Once upon a time, in the snowy northern kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a royal family blessed with two daughters, Princess Liana, the firstborn, and Princess Amara, the younger. Liana was gentle, warm, and gracious, the kind of princess who made even the coldest winter day feel like spring. Amara, however, carried a shadow deep inside her heart, a shadow called envy. As children, the princesses were inseparable. They ran through the castle gardens, fed apples to the royal horses, and listened to bedtime tales about brave knights and ancient magic. People often said, these princesses will guide Eldoria together one day, but as the years passed, things changed. Liana grew kinder, while Amara grew colder. Where Liana offered warm smiles to villagers, Amara rolled her eyes. Where Liana helped an elderly woman carry her firewood, Amara scoffed and walked away. Each compliment Liana received was like a needle piercing Amara's heart, and the more the kingdom loved Liana, the more Amara wished she could take her place. Everything worsened the day a royal messenger arrived from the western kingdom of Valoria. Message was simple. Prince Adrian of Valoria was seeking a bride from Eldoria's royal family. It was a centuries-old tradition. A marriage between the two kingdoms ensured peace and strength. And because Liana was the firstborn, she was chosen. That night, Amara's jealousy turned into pure bitterness. Of course, she muttered to herself in her chambers. Liana gets the prince. Liana gets the crown. Liana gets everything, but Liana, unaware of her sister's feelings, often visited her room to share her excitement. Amara, she said one evening, blushing, Prince Adrian is kind. He listens carefully, like every word I say matters, but Amara snapped back, I don't care about your perfect prince, and she stormed out, leaving Liana heartbroken and confused. One afternoon, Queen Evelina called Amara to her chambers. Amara, she said softly, her voice filled with concern, what is this coldness toward your sister? Why do you speak with such anger? Amara clenched her fists, her knuckles turning white. You love her more. Everyone loves her more, my child, the queen said, her eyes gentle. Being firstborn does not make her better. It only makes her responsibilities heavier. Months passed, and Prince Adrian's coronation day drew near. Before he could be crowned king, he had to marry. The entire kingdom of Eldoria shimmered with celebration. Golden banners hung across the castle walls, snow lanterns glowed in the courtyards, and musicians practiced their festive songs day and night. Liana, full of excitement, often asked Amara for advice on her wedding gown, her crown, her jewels. And suddenly, Amara became sweet. Too sweet. She helped Liana choose her gown. She selected her wedding veil. She even organized the bridesmaids. Liana's heart soared with relief. My sister has forgiven me, she thought, happy to have her confidant back. But she couldn't see the jealousy that still burned behind Amara's smile. On the eve of the wedding, the castle was silent under the silver moonlight. Liana was in her chambers, brushing her long golden hair, when Amara walked in. Sister, she said sweetly, her voice like honey, I want to show you something downstairs, now. It's late, Liana laughed softly. It won't take long, Amara insisted, her eyes gleaming with a strange light. Liana placed her brush down and followed her sister out of the room. But she didn't notice the faint glimmer on the marble staircase, a thin, almost invisible layer of oil Amara had poured just moments earlier. Liana stepped down one step, 2 steps, 3, and her foot slipped. She tumbled down the grand staircase, her scream echoing through the silent castle. Guards rushed to her side as Amara pretended to panic. The royal physician arrived at once. He examined Liana's swollen leg and shook his head gravely. My king, the princess's leg is fractured. She will not walk for many months. The king went pale. The queen covered her face, sobbing. The wedding was cancelled. Amara quietly returned to her chamber that night, smiling. Her plan had worked perfectly. The next morning, Prince Adrian arrived expecting a celebration. Instead, the king explained what had happened. Prince Adrian frowned, his face a mask of disappointment. "I cannot marry a cripple," he said coldly. "What kind of king would I be? If she cannot stand beside me, I will choose another bride." His words pierced Lyanna's heart like ice. The council murmured among themselves. Then, one elder spoke up to avoid delay. "Let the younger princess marry Prince Adrian." Amara didn't hesitate. "I accept," she said instantly. And just like that, she took her sister's place. Lyanna wept alone in her chamber as the wedding drums echoed through the halls, a soundtrack to her stolen future. During the coronation in Valoria, Prince Adrian stood proudly before the people with Amara at his side. The high priest lifted the golden crown, but when he placed it on Adrian's head it slid right off. He tried again. It slipped again. A whisper spread through the crowd. Something was terribly wrong. The high priest stepped back, his eyes widening as if touched by a divine vision. "This crown rejects you," he declared, his voice booming through the hall. "You are not the true heir of Valoria." Gasps filled the room. Adrian's mother collapsed in tears. "It's true," she sobbed, her confession ringing out for all to hear. "I was already pregnant by another man before the late king married me." Chaos erupted. Adrian was stripped of his title, disgraced before the entire kingdom. His younger half-brother, Prince Edmund, a quiet and honorable man, was declared the rightful heir. Meanwhile, back in Eldoria, Lyanna's leg began healing far faster than expected. Prince Edmund, now the future king of Valoria, visited Eldoria to apologize for his family's deceit. He met Lyanna, and at once, he admired her gentle spirit and her resilience. Over the following months, their friendship deepened into love. When Edmund was crowned king, he chose Lyanna as his queen. At their coronation, the crown fit him perfectly, and the entire kingdom rejoiced. Amara returned to Eldoria shamed and trembling. She confessed everything before the royal court. "I spilled the oil. I made Lyanna fall. I wanted the crown. I was jealous." The court gasped. The queen wept. But before any punishment was declared, Lyanna stood up, her grace unwavering. "I forgive her," she said softly. "If not for my fall, I would never have found my true destiny." The elders allowed Amara to live, but only as a commoner in a small cottage far from the castle. Lyanna, now queen of Valoria, often sent food and gifts, though she never saw Amara again. This story teaches us one powerful thing: jealousy doesn't steal another person's blessing, it destroys your own. Amara tried to take her sister's destiny, but destiny always finds its way back home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.